I'm running hard. I'm trying to fill it with the stars. I don't feel like I am. Every time I ask myself why. And my heart is turned to me. Save it with my memory. Save it with my memory. Save it with my memory.
Good evening, friends, followers, channel members. How are we all today? Happy Tuesday. This is quite upbeat, isn't it, for a Tuesday night? Nice little funky playlist. Oh well, it has the feel-good factor to it. Hello everyone, thank you for joining us as we look to fly and check out the new Porto scenery MK Studios, available from Orbx. So I hope you are all doing well. We are currently set. I've just realised the top banner isn't set up. Let me just quickly amend that. So we are currently sat on the ground in Toulouse. Not a payware airport, but a fantastic freeware mod from flightsim.to. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't done so already. So I'm doing, let me just get the top banner sorted. So off to Toulouse, from Toulouse to Porto, LPPR, and our call sign today, another real life flight for you. So it's Alpine 46 Victor Charlie that we're going to be flying as today. Hopefully that banner is now updated and working for you. So good evening everyone. Hello Christian, Wayne, Barry, Simon, Nightbot, HD, good to see you guys. Mark on Facebook and William as well. Christian Starmer, good to see you here as well. Dark Fury Connell 22 and Nick Burrows as well. Great, so many of the channel members here with us this evening. I say evening, of course, it is evening. This is not live time, just live weather. Two reasons. One, I've said before, I don't currently like flying on VATSIM in the dark because I can't see all the aircraft. Hey, even sometimes in the daytime we can't see all the aircraft. And as we're checking out new scenery, I thought it only fair to have a good look at it in the daylight. We may just set the time of day to night time when we get there, just so we can see what the evenings look like as well. But yeah, looking forward to this. Always enjoy checking out some new scenery, and big thanks to the partner Orbx for providing that for us for our stream this evening. Theo, greetings from Belgium, and Chris, greetings from across the pond. Thank you so much for tuning in. Marcus, Captain N, Lynn, and Zora DK Gaming, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you've all had a great day so far. So as you can see, the GPU is already connected up, and we've got the baggage handlers about to start their work as well. Catering is on its way, so we'll have plenty to drink throughout the flight this evening. Well, you can, I won't. And I'm just having a look as well to see if we've actually got any ATC. And do you know what? I think we actually have got ATC. So that is really nice. So we'll hop on board. Our aircraft should be in a nice turnaround state, and it is. So that's obviously good. Not the first flight of the day, so I don't have to go through and do all of the flows, which is kind of nice, to be honest. First flights of the day. If I'm doing an early morning stream, then we'll load it from cold dark, because, well, that just makes sense, doesn't it? But obviously it is not. Let's have a look at the fly pad and get that all set up. So if we just pull this information in, and then we can check out the operational flight plan, which I have just realized once again, and my apologies, I've forgotten to give you guys in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop that. So if you're watching on YouTube, that's coming any second now, and I'll pin that post as well for anyone that arrives a little bit later and wants to check that out. So there we go. Simon, yes, there is a light fix from flightsim.to, but you've not tried it yourself. No, neither have I. If anyone does try it, let me know how you get on with that. I'd love to know how you're finding that. Captain M, thank you very much for your little donation there. And Captain M says, have a nice flight. Captain M, thank you so much for your $5 donation. Really do appreciate that. It's very kind of you. So let's have a look, and I've just seen HD. Are they loading the bags in the front first? I don't think they know about weight distribution in the simulator yet. Right, so let's just go ahead and check what fuel we're going to take with us. I think actually our weather is pretty decent today. Oh, look at that! This though is one of those daft little operational flight plans, isn't it? Look at this, where the landing weight is a maximum. This is because of a weight issue at the moment with the aircraft. It will be sorted, but as we can see, our landing weight is well. The weather is actually really good, so perhaps we wouldn't normally take this, but maybe we should just opt for the planned block fuel, which, if we said, is 6.4 tons. Otherwise, we're not going to land. Well, we are, but we're going to have to do the overweight landing checklist, and I'm still getting used to the new thrustmaster side stick, so as for reducing the rate of touchdown as we come in overweight, I'm not going to bet money on that. So let's just double check this. Yeah, winds light and variable cav. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Nothing there that should concern me. The only thing that should concern me is the fact that I think I've been here twice and I've done 2 go-arounds. So maybe we should board extra fuel, put extra fuel on in that case. Not today. We should be okay. Right, go on then. Let's go with the plug fuel. 6.4 tons. Let's tell them to get going with that. Be interesting to see what our landing weight will be then when we come back in. So refueling is underway, and we'll start getting passengers on board as well in a couple of minutes. Those should be turned off, so let's go ahead and do that, and we'll get the APU started. So 1, 2, 3, and we'll get the nav lights on as well. Just doing the overhead flows, then everything is obviously where it should be. Come down and check out the anti-skid standby. That's all good, and we're on Unicom, and we're on 1215 on the guard frequency. Switching panel, thrust levers, engine masters, transponder, etc, etc. What's really great when you've got the thrustmaster thrust levers and the add-on pack as well, not only am I checking these visually here in the sim, I'm also checking them physically as well. I want to make sure that my landing gear lever is down and the engine masters are off and things like that. So it's great to have that sort of thing synced up. So that's all done. We'll come across then to the instrument panel, and I do like to have a look what the initial climb is today. If we've got one, initial climb should be flight level 70. So let's go ahead and set that. Put the constraints on. Flight directors 1 and 2, and we'll just turn up the screens a little bit. There we go. Right, is that APU available yet? Yes, it is. So get the APU bleed on, and we'll just give that a minute, and then we'll turn the packs on as well. So HD, that's a good idea. If we just stick to 5031033, the the fuel burn will obviously be higher, so hopefully we'll land below the maximum landing weight. That's if the fuel burn is correct. Let's see. Okay, well, let's go ahead and I can start this off now. This is just adding the boarding weights to the aircraft, so whilst that's taking place, let's just check 3 nav green and aircraft status. We've got the LEAP engines, and we've got a valid Airac title. So onto the init page, init request, let all that information come through, and then we'll start to fill this out as well. What have we got as our alternate? Our alternate is Lima Papa Papa Tango, and that call sign Alpine 46 Victor Charlie. And who's stolen my flight number? Easyjet Europe 46 Victor Charlie. It doesn't actually make any difference on VATSIM, to be fair. Oh no, there we go. Oh, that was a bit weird, wasn't it? Thought someone was flying my flight number there in the simulator. There we go, obviously not. Right, so then let's carry on. How's the timer doing actually? Can we get passengers on board yet? Oh yeah. Stop the chrono, get rid of that. Pack 1, Pack 2, and let's have a chat with our self-loading cargo ground crew, and cabin crew can start boarding our aircraft.
Cabin crew, we're all happy with how things are up here, so you can now open the doors and start letting our passengers on board. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, passengers are now boarding, and Wayne, Wayne, thank you so much for your donation. Wayne says the only reason I give the minimum $1 is because there isn't a minimum 40-cent donation. Thanks for all the wise counsel, which has kept me in there for 6 months now, and you could really do with a toilet break. What are you flying? The A320 has a couple of toilets. Shouldn't have any problems with that. Thank you very much, Wayne. Do appreciate that, of course. Now, do we have an active jetway here? We might not do, unfortunately, so we'll have to just open the main doors, and passengers can climb their way through. Christian, you're doing a great PM job there, flicking through those NOTAMs. So yeah, taxiway T60, T71 is closed. We'll brief all that in a couple of minutes. First of all, we're going to carry on setting up the box while those passengers are getting on board. Let's go back down then and carry that on. So we've got flywheel 330 there. Let's go ahead and change that to try and burn a bit more fuel. We'll go flywheel 310. Tropo is 42500. Oh, 600 is a little bit closer. Onto the flight plan then. So we are expecting a runway 32 right departure on the Litek 5 Bravo. Pop that one in. And then at the other end, it's we're expecting runway 35, which is going to be an RNAV approach. So RNAV 35, that is in kit. In kit 6 Charlie, and that is indeed via Akulu. That is a total flight distance of 536 miles. Our operational flight plan gives us 502, so they're close enough. Right, onto the RadNav page. We have a couple of things that we can put into this if we just grab the charts for it. We've obviously got the Toulouse VOR, Tango Oscar uniform. And I'm also going to pop in the NDB, which we would use in the event of an engine failure or anything else that goes wrong on departure, which is the TOW NDB. Believe it or not. There it is. Right, and before I forget, let's get that switched on. Now, I'm leaving that on at the moment. That's for departure. Anything goes wrong, we can pop that on. Onto the init B page, zero fuel weight of 64.4 and 23.9. I would just check, is all our fuel, yeah, all the weight's loaded to the aircraft, so that's okay. I have noticed, and I don't know why I hadn't noticed this before, but if you do this too soon, normally you don't, because by the time it takes you to set everything else up, but if you do this before your fuel has been finished loading and the passenger weights have finished being popped in, then it takes the sort of zero fuel weight as is right at that snapshot moment. So wait until your aircraft is fully loaded before doing this. I only discovered that the other day after being flying the sim for a year. So our trip wind is a nice tailwind of 15 and 5.6, and we're taking 6.3. fuel for the alternate is 1.8. That leaves us with an extra 3 minutes of flying time. Yeah, that's because we've not loaded any fuel, but there we go. Extra 3 minutes of flying time. We should be okay. We just really need to keep an eye then on that fuel as we do this flight today. So that's a takeoff weight of 70 and a 70.5 tons, which according to the OFP is absolutely bob on, which it should be. So at least we know that they do align. Right, so we've only got a contingency fuel of 200 kilograms then, haven't we? And that's as planned on the OFP. Onto the performance then. Let's have a look. What is the transition altitude here? 5,000 feet. And thrust reduction acceleration is 1497, so it's actually closer to 1500. I'm being very petty here, arguing over 10 feet, but we'll do it. And then flaps 1. Let's check out the V speeds. 142, 138 and 137. HD, enter the alternate fuel first before asking it to calculate, otherwise it calculates a lower block fuel you need. Oh, okay. Actually, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know we could do that. Just go back to that init V page. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that, which makes sense because don't you actually start top right and then work your way sort of anti-clockwise around there? But yeah, didn't know you could actually fill it in prior to that. So we'll remember that for next time. Oh, we've got perf data. Excellent. So that's a 60-degree takeoff flex 141, 141, 143. There we go. Thievum, does it make a difference if you fill in the trimmable horizontal stabilizer? No, absolutely none at all. That is not connected to anything for the aircraft. I think it's there for pilots to reference, but as it tends to change, then a lot of airlines now don't bother because it makes no difference to the aircraft. Lovely. Now let me just double check. I need to work out who actually controls us here. It's not Paris control, is it? Is it Reims control? Or is it, oh, it's Bordeaux control. 125.1. So let's go ahead and dial them up. Didn't see they were online. 125.1. Let's flick on over to them. And I'm going to kill the noise as well. So let's lock the flight deck door, shut that noise out. And we'll also kill the music. Right, so let me just check everything is correct and I've got stuff written down. So I'm expecting the Litec 5 Bravo. And also expecting runway 32 right departure. Let's see if that's what they're going to give us. Bordeaux control. Good evening, Alpine 46 Victor Charlie. Stand Echo 30. Type A320 Neo requesting our file clearances file to Porto. Hang on a minute. Gross error check. That's not the right frequency. 125.1. That's better.
Hey Bordeaux, bonsoir. Iberia 3476 inbound top 2, flight level 380. Iberia 3476, good evening sir, we'll contact, proceed direct to Gonep, Like to gun up. Thank you. Iberia 34776.
Control, good evening. Alpine 46 Victor Charlie on the ground at Toulouse. Stand Echo 30. Type A320neo requesting IFR clearances file to Porto, and we have information Juliet on board.
Alpine 46 Victor Charlie, bonsoir. Information Juliet is correct. Your flight plan to Porto is approved. Runway P2 right, LATEC 5 Bravo departure. Initial climb, flight level 070 and squawk 5662.
Cleared, runway 32 right via the LATEC 5 Bravo. Initial climb, flight level 70 and squawk 5662 for Alpine 46 Victor Charlie.
46 Victor Charlie, that's correct. Report ready for push and start.
We'll go 46 Victor Charlie. Right, let's get that squawk in there.
Border control, good evening. Alpine 15 Whiskey at Toulouse, requesting
Let's put the right squawk in there.
Also as filed with information Juliet, type A320 neo.
Alpine 15
Level
Whiskey,
70
bonsoir.
is set.
Information Juliet is correct. Runway P2 right, LATEC 5 Bravo departure. Flight
Okay,
level
all of that is
70,
good.
5667.
And let's now do a departure brief. Passengers are still boarding. So we are, as I've just told ATC, we're at stand Echo 30. I expect to push facing south. He'll take us then presumably down Tango, and then that will bring us on to Papa and HD. I didn't check. Were they performance figures from November 1 or November 2? Obviously that's quite important. If they're for November 2 and he wants us to go November 1, that's fine, but if our performance figures are for November 1 and he wants us November 2, obviously that's that's a little bit more serious. HD, if I just see, I don't keep an eye on the chat, but occasionally I look over, and when I see HD asking someone to bribe Airbus, I kind of think, what have I missed? So I'll just wait for HD to confirm where that departure was from. Either way, then, once we do the departure, let's have a quick check. That was full length departure only. Thank you, HD. So we're straight out, and it's an RNAV departure, isn't it? So over to Toulouse, and then once we're above 4,000 feet, that should be a left-hand turn. Is that coded in to this departure? Let's have a quick check. Actually doesn't look like that is, to be honest with you. So let's just check that chart again. And if in doubt, you can always read the text version. Climb on runway track to 2 miles Toulouse, then direct to 2. Turn left Toulouse 307 at or above 4,000 feet, then you make a left-hand turn. Okay, so yeah, we need to be above 4,000 feet before we make that left-hand turn. We'll stay on that heading of 307. Presumably, if we're not above 4,000 feet before we start to look at making that turn, then I would expect that we'll pull heading mode and set that so we don't turn before 4,000 feet. Just going to make a quick note of that heading, 307. And we've got the Toulouse on there, haven't we? The VOR. Yeah, there it is. After that, everything should be nicely straightforward, and off we go. Okay, so that's the planned departure. Let's talk about things which could go wrong. So ATC is online. If we have a problem during the taxi, we'll stop the aircraft and inform ATC. Depending on what failure it is, we'll see if we can get that sorted, or if need be, we'll need to return to the gate and get the mechanic on call to sort that out. On departure, or if we have any problems or any warnings coming before 100 knots, then we'll consider stopping. But after 100 knots and up to V1, then we'll only stop for any of the uninhibited ECAM warnings, cautions, or an engine fire and failure, and that's with or without thrust loss. Or of course, if I think the aircraft is just unsafe to fly. If that's the case, then I'll call stop then we will go to max reverse, keep the aircraft nice and straight on the runway, and use manual braking if auto brakes isn't slowing us as well as I want it to. And of course, if we've had an engine fire warning, then I'll try and attempt to point the aircraft into the wind. Once we come to a stop, then we'll need to stow the reversers, set the parking brakes, and just check the ECAM to see what has caused us to stop and confirm any failures. Once we've established the cause of the failure, we can either complete the ECAM drill and ask ATC to vacate the runway. If that's a more serious warning like an engine fire, then we need to consider running the evacuation checklist. If we have a failure after V1, then we're obviously committed. I'll get the aircraft into the air using standard technique, 12.5 degree pitch, following SRS and using the rudder to counteract any yaw. Once the aircraft has a positive rate, we'll get the gear up, we can trim out the yaw, and we can then engage the autopilot. Toga will also be available, so we can go Toga as well, as we will be doing a flex takeoff. It's a standard engine out procedure here, so we can pull that heading bug nice and early rather than because we don't want to just follow the sit out, so we'll just continue on runway heading. After we've passed 400 feet, then we'll confirm the failure and start looking at the ECAM drill once we've got into the air a little bit. We're a little bit safer, and if we have had the engine problem, then we'll have to shut that down, and then once the engine is secured and we're above the single engine acceleration, then we can push the level off, accelerate, retract flaps on schedule, and at green dot we'll then go to open climb and set maximum continuous thrust. Once we have reached 2,000 feet, we're going to make a right-hand turn to the Tango Oscar Echo, or TOW, NDB, and entry to that holding point is 258, and it's left turns. Once we've completed that and we're into the hold, we'll decide what we're going to do next. Only one thing I need to do now is go onto the fixers page, and we'll pop TOW in there, so we have it as a visual reference, because sadly we can't get the secondary flight plan working just yet. So there that is, and just to give us a bit of a visual, I can also put that whole radial in there as well, 258. And if I zoom out a little bit, we might be able to see that. There it is. Left hand turns in the hold as well, so that would be our holding point should we have any issues on departure. Right, I think our passengers are all on board.
Hi Gavin, all the passengers are on board and we're ready to go. I'll bring you a cup of tea after we've taken off.
Thank you.
So I've got the fuel pumps on, and seatbelt signs are now on. Refueling is complete. We are now done with the external power, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's just check, are the guys down there getting out of the way? He might be doing it in a minute. 1 second. I don't want to drag him all the way to Porto with us. There he goes. A couple of things we'll do, and then we'll do the pre-flight checks.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. My name is Gavin, and I would like to welcome you on board this Easyjet aircraft. We expect a good flight with you today, with no weather problems showing in front of us, so we should be pushing back within the next few minutes or so. For now, the ground crew have now finished loading the last of the baggage into the aircraft, so if you could get yourself seated and secured, then we can make sure we can depart on time. The cabin crew will shortly be providing their safety demonstration video, so it would be appreciated if you could give them your full attention. A special welcome on board to our Easyjet SimPilot members, and if you wish to inquire about becoming a member, please contact a member of the cabin crew. All our Easyjet SimPilot members are of course entitled to free drinks throughout the flight. Thanks very much, and we'll give you an update once we are airborne. Okay, I think we're about ready to start the checks.
tell you, dragging them all the way to Porto would increase the fuel burn a little bit. Yeah, well, I think we need that today. HD, you've just posed a question to which I can't think of the answer. What's one way we could have improved your fuel decision? You mean besides throwing some passengers off? I'm presuming that's not the answer you're looking for. Right, well, let's run the before start checklist. Cockpit preparation. Final paranoia check of the overhead. Yeah, that's all complete. I can just center the rudder. And our signs are both on and auto. ADIRS 3 nav green. Fuel quantity is 6360 kilograms and balance. The FMGS is set. Altimeter is 1021.
Cabin crew, we're all ready to go, so please arm the doors and cross-check. Thank you.
So get those beacon lights on and pop the transponder to standby. Let's run the before start checklist below the line. So windows and doors are closed and armed, beacon light is on, mobile phone is off, parking brake is on. So we'll call the tug guys and then we'll contact ATC for our pushback clearance. HD, that is simple. We could have chosen a closer alternate, couldn't we? The way SimBrief works is it would just have increased our payload, I bet. So we'd have still had a maximum landing weight.
Cockpit to ground. This is ground. Stand by.
Christian, we all have those, my friend. You've seen me have many of them over the years. Years? Months. We've not been going that long. Nose wheel steering disconnected.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed. The parking brakes are set. You may lift. Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft. Standing by for pushback.
Okay, let's contact ATC and request our pushback clearance. Control Alpine 46 Victor Charlie, stand Echo 30, requesting push and start, please.
Alpine 46 Victor Charlie, push and start facing north is approved. Not ready for taxi.
Push and start approved, and just confirm facing north, please.
Alpine 46 Victor Charlie, yes sir, faces north in front of your colleague.
Roger, push facing north, Alpine 46 Victor Charlie. Let me just have a look what he's going to plan on us doing. Right, unless he's going to make us go down Tango 50 and then out rather than this way, but that's okay. I did want to just double check that, always better to ask. Okay, let's go.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We are cleared for start and push. Parking brakes set. Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake. Parking brakes are released. Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence. You will start in the sequence.
So I'm just going to slow that tug speed down a little bit and let's go the engine start sequence. So engines selector to start and starting engine 1.
Europa 94 Kilo Mike, contact Madrid 133.75, bye-bye.
Over to Madrid and 13375. Thank you, Europa 94 Kilo Mike, ciao.
Neuchâtel 84 Mike, contact Madrid 133.750, bye.
133.75, Neuchâtel 84 Mike, over.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask
HD,
your
yeah, we did
attention
the
while
before
taking
start
the
check below the line.
procedures
That
on
seems like
board.
quite a while ago now, but we
A
did do
safety
it
guard
before
in
even
the
calling the
seat
tug.
showing the exit routes,
You zoned out for a minute. How often do you say that when you're actually working?
Direct
Here,
Airac.
brace, brace.
Check now, okay,
There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you.
Easy 464, line up
In
runway
an emergency,
P2
leave
right,
all
wind
cabin baggage on
270
board.
degrees 8 knots, clear for takeoff.
Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on.
Is
We recommend
Nick
that you keep it
flying an
fastened at all
Easyjet
times.
with his British Airways call sign
If the air
464?
supply fails, masks will
Love
drop
it.
from above. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before
Easy 230 Delta, ready to
land on
taxi.
water. Take the life jacket from
Easy
under your seat.
230 Delta,
Put
taxi
it
to
over your
point
head.
November 1, runway
Pass the
P2 right,
tapes
via
around your
Tango
waist.
50 and Papa.
Starting engine 2.
Taxi to November 1 for 32 right,
Do
5,
not inflate
Tango 50 and
inside the
Papa. Easy 230 Delta.
When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight with Easyjet.
Air France 72, Juliette Bravo, descendez niveau
Pushback
8,
completed. Please set your parking brake.
descendez niveau 8, 0 Air France 72, Juliette Bravo.
Parking brakes set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
HD, is that your brain on autopilot 99.9% of the time, or the aircraft?
Ground startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Clear it to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position, waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Okay, good engine start on engine number 2.
464, identified, climb flight level 250 initially.
Flying flight level 250 initially, AC464.
Feels very strange actually physically doing this now you've got all the thrust levers there. And what was the trim? 23.9, wasn't it? Was that right? 23.9? Yeah.
Good evening, this is...
Okay, we'll do the flight control check as well while we're stationary. Full
Gaia
left,
126, bonsoir,
full
identified,
right,
proceed
neutral,
direct to Agen, Alpha
full
Golf
up,
November.
full down, neutral, rudder, full right,
November.
rudder, full
Let me
left,
search it.
and neutral.
Okay, direct to Alpha Golf November, February 126.
Pushback is clear.
And
I will get our
Idera-
pushback clearance in a
Idera
moment.
126,
After start
7
checklist,
weeks,
anti-ice
7
is
zero, stay at
off.
site.
Ecam status is checked. We haven't set the timer running. There we go.
Yes, I
Pitch
flight
trim
level
is
370 at
23.9. Rudder trim
Okay,
is
Gaia
0.
126, climb flight level 370.
370 February 126.
Alpine 46 Victor Charlie is ready for taxi.
Alpine 46, Victor Charlie, taxi to only point November 1, runway P2 right, via Tango 50 and Papa.
Taxi holding point November 1 via Tango 50 and Papa for Alpine 46 Victor Charlie.
Alpine 15 Whiskey, ready for departure.
Can you repeat that again for Alpine 15 Whiskey?
Yes, was asking if you were ready for departure.
Okay, let's release the parking brake.
Yeah, we are ready for departure, Alpine 15 Whiskey.
Roger, so Alpine 15 Whiskey, line up runway 32 right.
A little bit of thrust.
8 knots, clear for takeoff.
Clear to take off Alpine 15 Whiskey.
I'm sure HD is not very often you forget to set the set the chrono, set the timer.
Identifié radar, poursuivez la montée vers le 330 Limoges.
On poursuivait le 330 sur Limoges à France 2806.
Information Alpha, I use the Thrustmaster Captain's Pack. So we've got,
Direct Atlantic.
well, we've got everything actually. We've got the side stick, we've got the thrust levers, and then we've got the add-on pack as well. Barry, it was downloaded. A painfully slow download, but it was downloaded.
Alpine 9341, descendez niveau 150.
Niveau 150, Alpine 9341.
Et Alpine 9341, donc...
There's me panning around again and forgetting that I can't turn and pan at the same time. Who's that departing? Was that Dark Fury moving away?
Pour la 32 droite, ça va peut-être un petit peu juste. J'ai une brochette de départ là.
We'll get on the straight and narrow and then we'll start running some checks and checklists. So, beginning with our performance check, QNH hasn't changed, it's still 1021, and well, that's a little bit bumpy, isn't it? Yeah, performance 10121. The flex still flex takeoff. Engine out procedure is standard, then 2,000 feet, a right-hand turn to the toe in DB. Departure now matches what we have in the FMGC, and the stop altitude is 7,000, flight level 070. Before takeoff checklist. So flight controls are checked, departure briefing is confirmed, flap setting is config 2, FMA and takeoff data 141 blue, 143 magenta climb, nav blue 152, 7,000 blue, flex 60.
Direct to Ryan for Walker 1036.
Transponder is set, ECAM memo, takeoff no blue, flight bag is stowed.
Ready for departure.
Is it 23 Sierra Delta, line up runway 32 right, wind 270 degrees, 8 knots, clear for takeoff.
Line up with 32 right, 23 Sierra Delta.
Alpine 15 Whiskey identified, climb flight level 250.
Climb flight level 250, Alpine 15 Whiskey.
Air France 72 Juliette Bravo, descendez 3000 pieds, QNH 1021.
3000 pieds, QNH 1021, Air France 72 Juliette Bravo.
So I'm also just keeping an eye out on ATC, see what traffic is about, particularly as we don't have working TCAS. Danny, good evening, sir. Hope you're well. Yam 8, do I know how to push the QNH button in the new FlyByWire? You literally can just push it as there. We'll be doing it a little bit later on.
With 2 Alpha Charlie, descend flight level 270 to be leveled by LaTeX.
With 2 Alpha Charlie, descend level 270 to be leveled at LaTeX.
Cabin crew, seat for takeoff.
Flight level 270 inbound spiral down. Ryanair 6 Lima Zulu, good evening sir, on a contact, proceed direct to Rocon. Direct to Rocon.
I think I am the last one of our group to fly out today, which means everybody else will be safely down in Porto.
41, descendez niveau 80.
By the time I get there.
Alpine 15 Whiskey, turn right, direct to LaTeX.
Direct LaTeX, Alpine 15 Whiskey.
Center.
Ooh! Alpine mistaken for an easy.
Level 3, direct inbound.
Beers are on you when we get there, Dark.
Quebec, good evening sir, squawk 5663. 5663, 45 Charlie Quebec. Is it 23 Sierra Delta? Do you have a Toronto?
Sorry, say again for Easy 23 Sierra Delta?
Is it 23 Sierra Delta? You are clear.
Brake temperatures are good.
To right. Perhaps there was a misunderstanding.
Please take off 32 right, Easy 23 Sierra Delta.
Approach path looks good. and we may get told to line up and wait in a second. Sounds like a busy controller as well this evening. He just got a lot busier when we came online, didn't he? Bless him.
Air France 72 Juliette Bravo, vous êtes autorisé à approcher ILS 32 gauche.
The longer we sit here, the more fuel we burn, so that's okay with me. I don't often say that.
Ah, c'est reçu, donc on est autorisé ILS 32 gauche, après voir baïonnette sur la 32 droite à France 72 Juliette Bravo.
Easy 45 Charlie Quebec identified, climb flight level 380, direct to Cognac Charlie, November Alpha.
380 direct Charlie November Alpha, Easy 45 Charlie Quebec, thank you.
Alpine 9341, alors guidage pour ILS 32 gauche, vous volez au cap 180 et vous accélérez votre descente vers le niveau 80.
Does anybody speak French?
480, on accélère la descente niveau 80, Alpine 9341.
Alpine 46 Victor Charlie, hold short room at November 1 for runway 32 right.
Alpine 46 Victor Charlie, line up runway 32 right, wind 310 degrees 5 knots, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff runway 32 right, Alpine 46 Victor Charlie.
Easy 23 Sierra Delta identified, climb flight level 250.
Climb flight level 250, Easy 23 Sierra Delta.
Easy 464, continue climb flight level 290.
Continue climb flight level 290, Easy 464.
Alpine 9341, vous pouvez me répéter le cap s'il vous plaît.
Au cap sud, cap unité 80.
Unité 80, Alpine 9341.
Air France 718, c'est reçu.
Oh, why have we stopped? Too much brake pressure.
Air France 716, la même pour vous, direct Pamplona.
Right, we've been cleared for takeoff. So then, let's go. Final paranoia check. Everything is where I want it to be. I'm still getting used to the new setup we've got here. So let's just restart the chrono. TCAS and transponder. Before takeoff checklist. Cabin secured for takeoff, engine mode selector, normal TCAS TA RA, packs off, anti-ice not required. Let's go. Takeoff. Start the chrono. 50% N1. Engine stable and set takeoff thrust.
Good evening, Easy 79 Echo Uniform.
Oh, we've gone token instead of flex. Told you I was still getting used to it. Never mind, it's safe. Burn some extra fuel.
Squawk 5673,
100 knots.
Easy 464, climb flight level 330.
V1, rotate. Nice gentle bit of wind on takeoff. Nav.
Delta, proceed direct to LATAC.
Gear up.
Direct LATAC, Easy 23 Sierra Delta.
Nav.
Alors Air France 72 Juliette Bravo, si vous êtes toujours intéressé, la baïonnette 32 droite est possible.
Climb thrust. Thrust climb, climb.
On est preneur, baïonnette 32 droite, Air France 72 Juliette Bravo.
Eh bien Air France 72 Juliette Bravo, autorisé atterrissage piste 32 droite, 359.
Autorisé atterrissage 32 droite, Air France 72 Juliette Bravo, merci.
Alpine 93, 41 à droite, cap 260.
Autopilot 1 engaged. Heading.
260, descendez 3000 pieds, Alpine 93 41.
Easy 79, Eco Uniform identified, maintain flight level 30, direct to Cuba.
Flap 0, ground spoilers disarmed.
Mayday follow up.
Swiss 2 Alpha Charlie, contact Madrid 133.75, bye bye.
Swiss 2 Alpha Charlie Madrid 13375, thanks for your service, au revoir.
Welcome, bye bye.
4,000 feet,
FX A2 information.
into nav mode, left turn.
Iberia 3476, level my space, monitor Unicom 122.8, on the flight, bye bye. 1228 for Iberia 3476, bonne soirée, à bientôt.
HD, the first turn was 2 miles from the Toulouse VOR.
Identified, climb flight level 250.
Confirm again please, Alpine 46 Victor Charlie.
You are identified, climb flight level 250.
250 for Alpine 46 Victor Charlie.
Alpine 15 Whiskey, climb flight level 310.
Thrust climb, open climb 250 blue.
FX A2 ready for descent. First 350 information kilo.
Air France A2 descent flight level 150, Narak 6, India arrival for ILS 3 left.
Okay, now 6 India arrives for runway 3 left and we descend flight level 150. A2
I just want to check where this is taking us.
133.75.
They should be taking us now direct to Gordy.
133.75, easy 44, so to DC, bye bye.
So I'm not quite sure.
Alpine 46 Victor Charlie, turn right direct to Latec.
Right direct to Letec for Alpine 46 Victor Charlie.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that small
autorisé, approche ILS 26 gauche.
cigarettes.
Alpine 93
Alpine 93-41, à Toulouse c'est les 32, donc on sera à la 32 gauche.
32 gauche, Alpine 93.
10,000 feet.
Air France 2806, prévoyez une Majec 9 Sierra, la 27 à Pierre.
Okay, en route now to Latec. Just want to see how well that captures that line. It doesn't always do it perfectly. Instead of going direct, it goes from your current position sometimes, which is a bit of a pain.
Roulez pour Eco 20 via Tango 60 et Tango.
It would be better sometimes, I think, pulling heading, pointing our aircraft generally towards the direction of the waypoint we've been given the direct to, and then going direct. Is the beacon light not on? Oh, it's not. Why is that not on? May have to go back after I've finished this stream and check, because I was pretty certain that that was put on, but there we go. I'm sure somebody can do that for me. Right, that's all looking good. Happy to take the seatbelt signs off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign has now been turned on. You are now free to move around the cabin and the toilets are now available. However, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case
Alpine 15 Mike, continue flying flight level 330.
if you require assistance. Thank you.
Flying follow 330 for Alpine 15 Whiskey.
Flight level 150. Yeah, so sorry, I wasn't talking too much throughout that departure with ATC to listen to as well. It was... well, it wasn't showing 100% as I would have expected it to on the navigation display, but we knew that before departure, so very quickly whilst we're just monitoring the climb. What you would have seen me do is on departure we flew runway heading, so I didn't have the autopilot on at this point. Autopilot wasn't turned on until after we passed a distance of 2 miles to Toulouse. Then I popped the autopilot on a heading of 307 degrees. After we reached 4,000 feet, then I went into nav mode to begin that turn, which was coded correctly, and then we got a direct to LATEC. So, quite busy.
Good evening, I'll call back. Alpine 15 Whiskey, contact Madrid, 133.75, bye.
Contact Madrid at 133.75, action service.
HD says ignore what you said. I did it correctly. That's not something we often hear, so kudos HD. You must have had a long day. So we've been cleared to flight level 250. I'm going to guess that that's then outside of his airspace, unless the next controller is online, and I don't know if they are. Oh, actually Madrid control is online. Is it Madrid that we go to next? If it is, we can sort that out, which is 12375. There we go.
Alpine 46 Victor Charlie, radio check.
Alpine 46 Victor Charlie, pass message.
Okay, Alpine 46 Victor Charlie. I don't know, I have lost Easy230 down, so I can see apparently if you can reach him. So for you can continue climb flight level 330.
We'll continue climb 330 and just confirm the call sign of the aircraft you've lost.
Easy230 Delta.
Control Easy230 Delta, sorry, I can hear you.
Oh, there we go, he's back.
Easy230 Delta, ready 5 sir, so climb flight level 330.
Flight level 330 blue.
Flight level 330, thank you, Easy230 Delta.
Good evening, Flavia 22, Takeoff level 370, inbound table.
J-Hog, you've just come back and checked. I did turn the beacon light on. But there's something, one of the key binds isn't quite right in this setup then. We're going to find those things happening probably for the next few live flights.
82 Mike, descent flight level 80.
It's okay. The ground crew were well aware of what we were doing before we started those engines.
Proceed direct to Perpignan, Papa Golf.
Jackson D, you were in VATSIM earlier and your rudders went haywire, so you you crashed and panic closed Microsoft Flight Sim.
Santalia 22 Mike. Mike, open Mike, we have a behind you.
I'll check the first officer. No, I don't think he's doing anything daft.
Bordeaux, this is 3605, do you sir? Walker 1036, descent flight level 150. Descent flight level 150, Walker 1036.
A beautiful view this evening. I say this evening, of course it is evening here in the UK, but here in the simulator it's early evening. Not quite sure where the sun is in the sky in relation to us. I probably wouldn't have dropped too much by the time we get there. I was wondering if it might be in a sort of evening approach.
Golf Mike, radio check. Golf Mike, Bordeaux, do you copy?
So the flight time for this is only about 1 hour and 20 minutes, so only an hour to go before we're coming in on the final approach, which is nice. Darky heard the first officer was French drinking.
Walker 1036, expect runway 09 in La Rochelle.
And Barry, where are you off to? Echo November Golf Mike. Oh, go on. That's not Gothenburg, is it?
Swiss 6 Golf
No,
Mike,
where's
flight
that?
festival
Ooh,
390
top Swiss.
to
Not heard. Don't get to hear too many top Swissers on the channel, which is nice.
I do Swiss 6 Golf Mike, radio check. Radio 5,
A little bit hazy in the distance. So for those of you joining us a little bit late, we are on live weather, but not on live time.
Merci beaucoup Thomas, 370 direct Is it 23 Sierra Delta, contact Madrid 133.7, flight by.
Oslo, that's it, Barry. I couldn't think of which one it was. You're off to Oslo. Excellent. Hope you have some good weather waiting for you. So we should be in Porto just before 2100 hours.
93-41, traversez la 32 droite et roulez au poste uniforme 31.
Poste uniforme 31 et je crosse la 32 droite, Alpine 93-41.
There's a great little valley down there, isn't there? I don't know where that is, of course, but anyone with Google Maps will probably find it. So with that terrain beneath us, let's just have a quick look at that operational flight plan, see if there's anything we need to be aware of regarding the moors. Lots of terrain in Spain. Yeah, so at Latec, then we've got 1, 2, 3, and then we're okay. So Latec is the high point of our flight this evening.
Station, say again.
Shouldn't have too much turbulence either tonight. Check these just before we started. But have a look at this. High pressure in control, so hopefully clear views, clear skies, nice weather, calm winds for landing. What could be better? Yeah, HD, I know I'm in France still at the moment, but I just know that there's some hills somewhere in Spain, and I want to be aware of them. It's why I quite like the approach into Toulouse if you're coming from sort of Spain, and it's because of all these hillsides and mountains.
Alpine 46 Victor Charlie, contact Madrid 133.75. Good flight, bye.
133.75. Thanks very much for the service, Alpine 46 Victor Charlie. Bye bye. Yeah, I quite like coming in from Spain because you obviously have to plan with the terrain beneath you.
6,000 feet, QNH 1024, and cleared Alice Zulu approach runway 30.
Switch to Alpha Charlie, descending altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 1024. We maintain visual separation from the terrain, and we're cleared for the Alice Zulu runway 30 approach.
That's for Alpha Charlie, direct to Calma.
And direct to Calma, switch to Alpha Charlie.
Midget Control, good evening, Alpine 46 Victor Charlie, passing flight level 310 for 330 on the Latec 5 Bravo departure.
Alpine 46 Victor Charlie, Madrid, hello, identified.
Madrid, over France, 716, Easyjet 350.
716, Madrid, hello, identified.
Dylan, it's your 18th birthday today! Oh wow! How are you celebrating it, besides flying to Porto with us? Congratulations, Dylan, hope you've had a good day. Whereabouts in the world are you? How many hours of your birthday are left? Christian, they're all hills. Yeah, they're all hills and they're all Atlantic Oceans. Okay. I'll do cities. Yeah, I'm quite happy with cities and countries. But hills are just hills. All are dangerous to aircraft in exactly the same way. regardless of their name. Vida, hello. Hope you are well. So we've got about 500 feet to go. And we'll have a look at a fuel check then at LATEC. Oh, Dylan! Oh wow, you're in Australia, so you've got a full day of celebrations planned. Fantastic, Mac Altstar. What do you do for your 18th birthday, Dylan? I hope it's something good. Alt cruise. So let's check LATEC 18 minutes into the flight. And how are we doing for fuel? So we should have around 4.7 tons on board if we're burning it correctly. Yeah, that's probably about right. I tried to burn a bit more off by accidentally going Toga instead of Flex, but never mind. HD, someone was talking about Fosters the other day, an Australian, and they said actually the Australians don't drink that much Fosters. It's all a big ploy just for us English folk over here for the adverts. Yeah, Dylan, you're having a nice lunch with the family. You're very excited. Excellent. A kangaroo disco. Trust you, Wayne. What would that involve, just out of interest?
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, just to let you know that we've reached our cruising altitude for today and we are not anticipating any major delays or bad weather ahead, so we should be arriving on time as planned. The cabin crew will now start to make their way around the aircraft, so please make sure that the aisles are clear of any items you may have, and I invite you to sit back, relax and enjoy the flight. A reminder that our Easyjet Sim pilot members are able to take advantage of free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and we shall have an update for you shortly.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
HD asks, does that mean that Danny Minogue isn't a genuine Aussie either? I'm sure I heard the other, or read somewhere, that Kylie Minogue is moving back to Australia. Oh, like, yes, I knew it. She's coming back to Neighbours. Where it all began. And Danny, the SAO codes in France never stick in your head. To be fair, a lot stick in my head, but it's only the ones that I normally fly to.
En el punto de espera de la 11, Vueling 3865.
Vueling 3865, viento 100 en 6, piso 1 no autorizado para despegar, notifique en el aire.
Autorizado a despegar, notificaremos el aire, Vueling 3865.
So we shall go and get some en route weathers. Just in case anything deft happens en route, but I can't see there being too much of an issue today.
And chair 1,
oh, where else should we plump for? We've got Madrid, we've got Bilbao. Should we put the alternate in? I don't plan on going to the alternate, but we'll keep it in there. HD says it's easier to use the IATA codes. Yeah, they make a lot more sense, don't they? There's some daft ones. DBX, you wouldn't immediately link with Dubai, would you? J-Hog, I think the print button is still broken. Don't try it. Could I make a tutorial video on landing? Not at the moment. Not till I've mastered this side stick.
You're cleared the Hotel India Juliet 4 Echo arrival. Expect Tyler Zulu approach runway 27.
Tell you what, we will have a look at.
Iberia 126.
Have we got any 80s for our arrival airport?
126 Metro, hello, identified break. Chair 1, 2, did you copy?
Ready to copy. There you go. Chair 1, 2.
Chair 1, 2, cleared Hotel India Juliet 4 Echo.
Dr. Magic is just asking that very question. Has anybody tried pressing print recently?
Cleared.
I haven't. We could try it as we land, I suppose. Well, no. Not as we land, but after we've shut down.
Chair 1, 2.
HT, it's easy. Dubai extra expensive. Yeah, it's not cheap, is it, Dubai? I don't know why my lad is obsessed. He wants to go to Dubai. I purely think that's just because of the Emirates 380s. And no other reason.
Iberia 126.
Alright, I'll take you to Manchester. They're flying back from Manchester again now.
Iberia 126, not 1 eye status.
Wind 020 at 4, yeah, so I'm still expecting our arrival runway of 35 to be in use.
Just to confirm right now, I have 32 right arrival to Terstat 2 Zulu arrival for the SIT, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Christian, it would be much harder to withstand the urge to press the print button if it was big and red. What, and said in big letters above it, do not press. Yeah, that's the Homer Simpson mentality. ATC not available, so we may not have any ATC online when we actually get there. We're not going to hang around too much before planning this approach. Say it's only an hour and 20 minutes this flight. We should be on the ground in an hour or so. Pramod, you did print the Meta yesterday. I think it's very hit and miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And you know, Murphy's Law says if I pressed it now, we'd crash the desktop. Do it after we've landed, it'll be absolutely fine. Hey Ronald Jeffers, thanks for stopping by.
Apologies, Cape Phelan to Quebec arrival. Expect Alice Zulu approach for runway 13.
Phelan to Quebec arrival.
So an RMP approach. What do we want? We're aiming to be at Akulu. Is it 4,000 feet? At Akulu? Yeah, 4,000 feet at Akulu.
Area 126, can I step out of the cockpit for 2 to 3 minutes, please?
Approved, thank.
And I am just going to check the Mora again. Just want to check on that descent, what we've got. Coming down, so at Akulu, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. We just need to be careful at Ingit. So if we look to be, hang on, let me get my chart back up. We need to be able to fly level 110 at Ingit. That's fine.
November Echo Papa Uniform Romeo.
Then we've got well, we've got plenty of time actually to get down there, but this is the naughty one. 7,000 feet just there, which then we've got track miles to Akulu. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got to lose 3,000 feet in literally 9 miles, and at Akulu we want to start to be nice and configured. So, or rather, we want to be configured a little bit before then, don't we? how far have we got here? 4, 5, 6 miles to go there. So that's fine. Right, I want to have flaps 1 before Akulu,
Stand by, let me take a look.
and then flaps 2 need to be out almost as we leave Akulu, as we get down to 3,000 feet.
Zulu runway 13 arrival. So if you program the Ala Zulu 13 correctly from via...
So let's pop in Papa Romeo 464. We'll work out where we're going to do a top of descent.
I have Pulse 2 and after that Charlie Foxtrot 1.
Let's just reread that. It's Papa Romeo 646.
I'll check it out, the standby no shuttle 845.
Yeah, just make sure you have the talk to transition programmed in.
And we're currently at 33,000 feet. And so we're going to have our top of descent
Thank you, welcome back.
at around
Airport 716 direct.
little tailwind,
Tango.
and I also want to start slowing down, so we're going to do that probably 90 miles away. Should be fine. 90 miles away, and that's quite conservative. So let's put a 90 mile radius around that point.
718 direct start,
I didn't copy that. Could you repeat for Valemon?
And we've now got a top of descent
I
marker.
wasn't talking to you, I'm talking to Air France 718. Air France 718 direct start.
Yes, we'll proceed direct to Air France 718, thank you.
Okay, so now we've got our top of descent sorted. We will start our top of descent there. We're going to set flight level 110, make sure we don't descend any lower than that by INKIT. After that, we've got plenty of time to get down and slow down to flight level 70. I want to be nice and steady, so I want to be managed speed, absolutely managed speed in the approach phase, probably 220 knots or less. By this point, we're going to get flaps 1 out along here. Leaving Akulu, we want flaps 2 at 4,000 feet, and then down to 3,000 feet, which is a mandatory platform altitude, and then it's Papa Romeo 524 that we do a nav FPA approach, 3-degree approach angle. Okay, there's our plan. Let's talk about after landing then. After landing, while we admire the new scenery from MK Studios and Orbx, after landing we will obviously go down. Now I want to check the no times at a moment, because I'm not convinced that this is actually open yet. So let's have a look at the no times.
Good evening, Air 3677, flight level 380.
Iberia 3677 Madrid, hello, identified. Cleared banner to Delta arrival, cleared banner to Delta arrival, descent particle 360.
New taxiway echo, taxiway layout change, stop bar layout change, declared distances, takeoff from sections change, local aerodrome, ILS runway 17, not bothered about that.
Left heading 160.
Okay, taxiway echo 1 to echo 5, golf, and F1 closed due to work in progress. Right. So that is, let's form a little bit of a mental picture then of what we can and can't do. This could be interesting. So Echo 1 to Echo 5 is closed, Golf is closed, and the rapid exit taxiway Foxtrot 1 is closed. So after landing, are we going to be able to exit at Alpha 3? Are we going to be able to get off at Alpha 3?
Descent to flight level 70, chair 12.
Max. Well, no, I was going to say max auto brakes. It's not. It's medium, isn't it?
3677.
Medium, and aim for that touchdown zone. No long landing. So we're going to have to taxi and then left turn Alpha 3, come back and cross at, it'd be easy to cross at Hotel, wouldn't it? Hotel over to Charlie. Of course, if there's aircraft coming in, then it would be easy to go Alpha 1. And then if we don't make Alpha 3, it's down to the end and backtrack.
F1 718, thanks for help. Resume our navigation direct Delta.
So, in the event of other aircraft behind us, we're going to try and do our best to get off at Alpha 3. That's going to be medium auto brake and reverse thrust as well. Hope that works. Athevium, do I use the landing calculator on the AFB? I have done in the past. I have done. What's our weight at the minute? 68.5 ton. We need to lose another ton of fuel. Oh, HD, I hadn't got that far yet. my next sort of thing to check was how long the runway actually was, but it's full. It's 3,333 meters, and yeah, 45 meters wide. So we can turn around on the runway. I'm not going to ask the famous question, Christian. You can ask it, Christian, if you wish. Miguel, you think the new taxiway is being used in Porto? No, not yet. Not yet. The note I'm still say it's closed. So now we've briefed the taxi. Let's have a look at the missed approach. So missed approach is straight ahead to Papa Romeo 544, then left turn to the Retmo holding. Going to flight level 60.
0367, middle approach 1875. Thank you, ready to see you, bye.
Iberia 1260 back in the cockpit.
The minimums that we're going to use is 540. Runway visibility range 750 meters. It's well above
Iberia
that.
1260, reporting back.
Iberia 126, thanks, welcome back. When ready, descent flight level 250.
When ready, descent flight level 250 for Iberia 126.
And I don't think we need to worry about the fact that, well, we can't do VNAV anyway. It's not working. Okay, we've briefed how I want to do the approach. We've briefed how we want to do the landing and the taxi. Let's just check a couple of other things then. Transition altitude is 4,000 feet. Platform altitude is 3,000 feet. And the minimum safe altitude is also 3,000 feet for a very small sector. Hang on a second. So it's 5,100 feet as we're coming in from the west, but then 3,000 feet for the final part.
Approved, report back.
Okay, so HD, the reason we're using 540 minimas, obviously we know runway visual range is above 750 meters, that's fine, but we are having to do this approach without VNAV. We have LNAV only, and we're going to use FPA, NAV FPA for our approach, so without VNAV available to us, we're using the higher minimums. Christian, I'm not going to answer you. You already know I know the answer. So we'll get our runway threshold as well in the bearing distance 2 page. That's done. And let's also, just in case of the go around, because we have had them here before, let's look at popping this in, shall we? So, Papa Romeo 544. Remember, everything at the moment regarding the go around track is not there, so we can pop this in using the fixers page. So I'm going to put in Papa Romeo 544 to begin with. Oh, not on there, not in that field, I'm not. Hang on. There we go. And I don't need a radial or anything like that. We've got it visually there now on the navigation display. And now I'm going to put Retmo on there as well.
So 6 Golf Mike Madrid identified, direct Terza, cleared Terza 201.
Okay, Terza, the Terza 3 Zulu arrival.
Easy 464 leading right, stay shortly, continue Unicom 120 decimal 8, enjoy landing in Porto, goodbye.
Over to Unicom 120 decimal 8, thanks for your ATC tonight, Easy 464.
That's Nick being given his handoff. Okay, hopefully the flight plan will sequence much nicer by the time we get there. That's just an effect of the experimental version at the moment. Although I believe that has been updated today, so I need to go ahead and grab the new ones pretty soon. There we go. So now I've got our missed approach waypoints showing on there.
Not late for my cricket, further descent.
So not late for my descent, Fargo 70.
Flight 70, not too late for Mike.
Chair 12, descent 3,500 feet at the QNH 1015 via Reuven transition. Cleared.
In just a few moments we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today. Full details can be found in your in-flight brochure. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated. And if we can give any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
3,500 feet and Reuven transition, so Reuven transition procedure. Cleared Islas Zulu approach from
Just listening to the ATC on this guy. Sounds like he's helping out a new pilot and doing a fantastic job of it, so well done to him. Lando Lakes, hello sir, how are you? Hope you're well.
3,500 and then
thank you for joining us on this very, very nice clear skied flight.
Iberia 126, contact Madrid approach 118.75. Enjoy your landing, bye-bye.
Seems like a strange thing to say that, doesn't it? Enjoy your landing.
Madrid radar, good evening, November 85 Charlie.
November 85 Charlie, Madrid, hello, identified. Cleared, Mapax to Quebec arrival, expect Alice Zulu, runway 30.
Let's get the latest weather, just in case it has changed, and we're going to pop that in to the performance page.
November 85 Charlie, can you repeat the descent?
Flightable 140.
Banner, you're now at the gate in Oslo. How was it? Was it good? Hope you had a nice one. Is that Zamora we're coming up on?
Thank you, welcome back.
Pedro, Porto is your home airport. Have fun with the approach. Oh, excellent. Are we? We're planning an arrival on runway 35. I don't know if that means we're going to go straight over your house or not. Yeah, so everything's stayed pretty much exactly as expected. So it's going to be 020 at 4 knots. Cav OK. 18 degrees, QNH is 1017. So let's go ahead and pop that in.
Yes, that's what I meant. So, Ala Zulu, approach runway 30, or 30, it's the same thing.
Land Alex, the experimental I think has been updated today. However, I have not had a chance to download it before today's stream, so that'll be, we may get a chance to do that tomorrow. And check that out. So make sure you've got the notifications turned on if you are a subscriber to the channel. Don't want to miss that. Oh, HD, you've just spoilt it for everybody. HD says, to make the return radius question a little bit easy to remember, the minimum runway you can land the A320 on is 30 meters. The turn radius is below this, so in effect you can turn around on any runway you can land on. There you go. Barry Barton, that is Madrid on ATC.
Alpha 15 Whiskey leaving my airspace now and monitor Unicom 1 to decimal 18, you are landing in Porto.
Mikey M, good evening, sir.
No shuttle 84 Mike, descend 5,000.
No shuttle, Norwegian.
QNH 1017 and by Nepo cleared Alice Zulu Bridge runway 13.
Christian, have you busted the 30 meters rule a few times? Where have you been landing? Which runway have you been landing on?
Shuttle for Mike, descend 5,500 feet. Malaga QNH 1017 via Nepal cleared Alice.
HD's just asked the exact same question.
5,500 feet, QNH 1017, descent via Nepal, cleared Alice Zulu 13, no shuttle 85 Mike.
So hopefully we're going to get a mid-afternoon stream in tomorrow if time permits.
126, do I continue descending?
Okay, 126, I handed you over to Madrid, contact Madrid approach 118.
Oh, Mikey, are you climbing out of Madrid as we speak? Fantastic.
Approach to the Tanza 84 Charlie, descent available 7.
Flight level 75, Lufthansa 85 Charlie.
I don't think I've heard any air traffic controller, however, top the air traffic controller we had on one of our long haul flights as we were coming back past Morocco. Oh, that guy was good. I think he was stoned, but he was good. Martin McKay, hello from Sydney, Australia. Good morning to you then. B757, you're just tuning in. You assume the experimental build? Indeed it is, but not the one that has been updated today. I'm 24 hours late. How do you get the FMS to display in the flight plan every time? Right. Are you trying to load your flight plan in on the flight planner menu in Microsoft Flight Simulator? If so, it doesn't work. It only works with SimBrief or by typing it in manually. It's still X. How do I fix live weather not actually being in sync in the sim? You can't. It is what it is. Bala Jurassic, good morning, evening from Perth, Australia. I love it. There's so many people from Australia tuning in. So glad to have you here. Nick, was it Casablanca Control? Wow. Yeah. That guy was good. That guy was better than good. That guy was amazing. He had us all in stitches.
EC330 Delta leaving my airspace, monitor Unicom 1 to do decimal 18, you are landing in Porto, bye bye.
Here's 160 decimal 8, EC330 Delta, thank you, have a good evening.
So those of us that are all flying on our way to Porto, we're going to have to be really good and classy with our pilot reports if there's no ATC at Porto for that runway clearance. Barry, you wonder whether you can get another flight in today. There's a lot of air traffic control online. All depends on what time it is where you are and what time you've got what time you've got left to fly. Sadly, I don't think there's any ATC in Portugal at all, which is a shame. There's our top of descent marker. So about 40, 41, 42 miles away. Barry, it's Belgium. It's 10 PM and you have all the time in the world. Barry, are you retired? I'm guessing you won't have kids getting you up at 6 AM. Sounds bliss. Not really. I don't want to waste my life away. Still got plenty more years of 6 AM calls. I woke up this morning, or at least I think I did. Our room was obviously in pitch black. Now the 6 AM calls are no longer in daylight. I sort of stirred, and the girls have taken it upon themselves now most mornings to just let themselves out of the bedroom because they're awake, so should we. And I kind of sort of semi-woke up and in the darkness saw the three of them sat on the floor in a nice circle doing patty cake with each other. Now I don't know if I dreamt that or not, because it doesn't sound like our girls to play nicely together.
Pretty adventurous, I would say.
Yeah, so after MAPAX you were supposed to fly the 22 DME arc clockwise. You were supposed to basically just do an arc around. And,
Ronald, you've often wondered what it would be like to land in a severe thunderstorm. Ask Air France pilots flying into Toronto. Not good.
Left 110, expecting vector to left.
Barry, you have to wake them up at 6 AM. Are they teenagers by any chance? Christian, can we simulate a multiple display malfunction? No, we cannot. Brian, hello from a chilly Canada. Canada's chilly most of the year round, isn't it? Aside from a few months. You broke the world record, didn't you, this year for the warmest Canadian month? So we should be on the ground in half an hour or less.
1024.
1024, Lufthansa 877.
Go ahead.
Can we stay for like 2 minutes?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, Dark, now you're being silly, asking if we can glide the aircraft in. That maybe should be a challenge one day that Azobo add to the simulator. You know, these challenge landings they do. I'm not saying sort of a Sully landing challenge, because that's a 1,000,000,000 to 1 shot. But yeah, put you somewhere, you've got no power and you've just got to glide in. Brian, you drove past the Air France accident the next day and all that was left was the tail. Yeah, such a sad story, that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an Easyjet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Oh, Christian, don't remind me of that. That wasn't my fault. Silly mod. I think that's the only time we've crashed on a live stream. I think that aircraft's still there. I'm not sure I've flown it since.
Charlie, turn right heading 140.
We're going to request our descent clearance in a moment. Nick, there is just one, the one at the half point. But you kind of get, you've got a lot more than half, haven't you? What have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Have you got 5, I think? So I think I prefer just to have it smooth. Over to Unicom, thanks very much for the service, Alpine 46 Victor Charlie. Right, well, we're leaving our airspace, and we are now on our own, and we're also at the top of the descent point. So let's go ahead and set flight level 110 as we head our way down for the first stage of our descent.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, you will be delighted.
Thrust idle, open descent. Flight level 110 blue. Christopher Shaw, hello sir, how are you? You say you failed miserably in the dark last night doing Gatwick to, is that Ibiza? Oh wow. Yeah, Nick, that's correct. You want to get 50%, you want to get half spoilers anyway, when Autopilot is on. What I do want to do in here, I'm going to change this because I want Papa Romeo 646 on here, so I can gauge that descent. It's almost your call sign, Nick, isn't it? 73 miles out. Captain London, hello. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so we're on our way down. Our weather and landing information is all sorted. We've set up the FMGC. Landing elevation is... Ooh, well, that's a good question. What is our landing elevation? Dun, dun, dun. 227. Landing elevation is 227. Auto brake medium. We've done our arrival briefing. I'll quickly go over that once more. So our plan is to activate the approach phase a little bit before, not really any later than Papa Romeo 646. Start to slow down. Green dot. Flaps 1 before Akulu, flaps 2 as we leave Akulu, and then descend 3,000 feet as well as we leave Akulu. To be the mandatory altitude for a RNAV FPA approach. 3-degree descent, and then on landing we're going to try and land and brake to vacate at Alpha 3. Hopefully it all sounds good. Sadly I can't get the terrain radar on, doesn't work. We've got the standby set to the local QNH. Ecam status is all good, and just checking that out the weight of the aircraft. If I can burn another 300 kilogram, then we should be fine. Should I just put the spoilers out for the fun of it? Christian, which one did I forget? Not under FlyByWire 0 at divot. Have I missed? Did I miss something? Let's have a quick look. Oh yes. Yeah, not below FlyByWire 0 at divot. To be honest, that one won't concern me too much because we need to. I'll probably be leveling off around about that point anyway to slow the aircraft down. So yeah, we shouldn't bust that minimum. But thank you, Christian, for pointing that out. Aaron Flood on Facebook, hello to you, hope you're well. So we're just below, at the moment, we're just below the profile. To be honest, I think I'd actually like to get a little bit lower, so I'm just going to increase that speed a little bit. This is the kind of the approach where I'd rather be below the profile and be able to slow down nice and early. I don't want to be high on this approach, otherwise we're not going to make it. Pedro, where you make the final right turn, that's where you live. Oh, bet you get some great views all day long. Christian, you don't want ATC to give me a number to call. It's a fair comment. Let's get those constraints on the navigation display as well, and that will also remind us. In fact, there you can see it coming up there. Hopefully our PM as well is happy with the brief. Need to remember as well, I am going to use thrust reverse to try and get off at Alpha 3. Christopher says, holy moly, that looks dramatic. It could be if I get it wrong, yes. Aaron, we're coming into Porto, checking out some brand new scenery available from Orbx. So, looking forward to this. And we can't go below flight level 110 in kit. That's looking mighty fine as well at the moment. Fabio, it is indeed a great shame there's no air traffic control, but never mind. We can check the speed. So clean is 210. Yeah, S speed 192. Yeah, that's no problem. So that's good, nicely below the profile. HD, we could turn AP on to burn a bit more fuel. Yeah, it's not going down. It's not going to go down either. Oh. If everybody could please go and empty their bladders, and then we'll just jettison it somewhere. Try and lose a bit of aircraft weight. Okay, so we can now continue on down to 7,000, flight level 70. 70 blue is set. Approach checklist, minimums 540 set, engine mode selector normal, EFB stowed. Yeah, sorry, I should have added that caveat. You'll have to go to the toilet in the sink for that little that little hack to work. Alright, I need to start reducing speed to 50 knots. We've got time to do that now, and then continue to slow as I get down below 10,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead now. We're going to activate the approach phase. That's done. We're in selected speed at the moment. So we'll just let that airspeed bleed off. And we'll just make a note of our fuel on board. We have just under 3.4 tons, which means that we've got plenty to have another go if this doesn't work.
Porto traffic, Easy230 Delta, facing the right centre final for runway 35 Porto.
Landing lights on. We don't need those on. The way the key bindings in this things work, I've not managed to set a button to control just the landing lights, just the nose light, and runway turn-off lights, etc., which is a little bit of a pain. If anyone knows how to go ahead and do that, let me know. Chris, I really enjoyed our A330 flight yesterday. A little bit uncontrollable on landing and the taxi, but in the air wasn't bad at all. All the automation worked, which is really nice, and that's only going to get better as it carries on. So that's good. Porto traffic Alpine 46 Victor Charlie is overhead divot on the Incate 6 Charlie arrival from runway 35. Okay, so we've just passed divot, heading down to 7,000 feet. And I want to start slowing the aircraft down. Managed speed. Slow the aircraft down between these waypoints, which is as we briefed. Then we get flaps one out and down to 4,000 feet.
Cabin
QNH set 4000 blue. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. And just using a bit of speed brake to get us down there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table
Flaps
must be stowed,
2, speed checked.
armrest down,
Flaps
and
2.
window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Keep that rate of descent up. We need to be above 4,000 feet at Kulu, but then we're getting down to 3,000. We're not going to be anywhere near that, so I'm happy to set 3,000 blue now.
Porto traffic, heavy aircraft on final distance.
Porto traffic, Alpine 46 Victor Charlie, turning right now over Akulu for runway 35.
Porto traffic, Easy 230 Delta on a 3 mile final, runway 35 Porto.
Roger, we're waiting at a hotel, we'll wait for you to land and then we'll cross runway 35.
Roger, thank you.
Just checking the final sequencing as well of this. We can ignore the VDEV brick as I don't think that's going to be accurately working, sadly. Runway is in sight. Speed Alt Star. Well, actually the VDEV brick is coming up, so that's quite nice to see. Spoilers retracted. I've just pressed that a tad too early. Let me just level that back off again. That's okay, that's not a major disaster. 8.6 miles from 542 is the runway threshold, so we're good as we are at the moment. .3, there it is. So now let's set that. I should compensate for losing early. Oh, what's going on here? I have control. We've gone very off track. Runway is over there. Nav mode wasn't working. Let's get back on track and I shall sort that. Landing gear. Porto traffic, Alpine 46 Victor Charlie is 6 mile final, runway 35. flaps 3. Speed checked. Let's go manage speed. Speed checked. Flaps 3. We're high. Two miles should be a 914.
1000.
Flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin secured. Auto thrust. Speed. Go around altitude. Set. Ecam memo landing no blue.
500.
Correction. I haven't dinged the cabin.
400 above.
When things go wrong, you really need a PM. Get that centre line back on track.
Minimum.
Continue. Oh, this side stick, I need some practice.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Spoilers deployed. Reverse thrust set. 70 knots reversers off. Oh, we're down. That was a little more exciting than I was hoping for.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you
someone
remain
needs to
seated
fill in that
until
pothole.
the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your Easyjet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or Easyjet app.
Well, that's why I would never fly on an aircraft with only one pilot. There's just too much to do when things go wrong. Of course, the other side of that is the real aircraft doesn't try to kill you. I think that's a bit extreme. For some reason, the flight plan just didn't sequence itself. It just completely went off piste, didn't it? So I'll quickly talk us through what I did, and that yeah, HD. I'll leave the flaps where they are. Yeah. So what was going through my mind? Let's sort of, now we're on the ground and we're safe. Let's do a sort of recap. So the moment I realised the flight, the autopilot was just doing something completely daft, I obviously disconnected the autopilot, We needed to get that then back on track. We were still flaps 2 at that point, which would have been absolutely fine. We were also in selector speed 180. So we had a lot to contend with. We needed to get the aircraft back on track. I needed to have the chart up, which I had the chart up, but then I was using the distances next to us, which were just here to work out what approach we should have been on, etc. Oh, it's just stopped. Oh, as if it couldn't go any worse. Oh, well, do you know what? If it was going to crash the desktop, I'm glad it happened then. Can I finish what I was saying? Anyway, yeah, so we left Akulu and we were coming up to Porto 542, and HC says something caught his eye. Now, it obviously didn't catch mine. I was concentrating on pulling the 3 degree FPA as and when it came down. Now, we obviously did that. That was fine. But in nav mode, it wasn't going exactly where we wanted it to. We noticed straight away then that it wasn't looking right. The moment it wasn't looking right is the moment you decide, you know what, I've got great weather. I can see outside. I can see the runway. I know where it is. I can eyeball that runway. So let's reduce the automation. Let's just get rid of that. We'll cut that, and then from there we're flying, just using out the window and a little bit of raw data. So we had the distance, and we had the altitudes on there. We were high to begin with, but that's okay. We managed to get that back down, all nice and safely as well. We got flaps out, we got managed speed, that was all nicely under control. So that worked all right. We got down there in the end, and the plan to go for medium auto brake and the reverse thrust got us off at that runway as well. The passengers may have felt a bit of a jolt. That said, I have no idea what the landing rate was. So I'm sure, guys. Hopefully, you guys felt that wasn't too bad. I could potentially have planted that harder down in an attempt to make sure we got vacated in time, but that's okay. So, shame we can't actually show off the scenery. We may have to do a flight from there tomorrow. Now, why the simulator decided to crash there, I have no idea, because I had actually been in that airport prior to this, so it's not like it was loading for the very first time. I'm afraid I can't explain that. So yeah, apologies I can't show that off, but I'll probably do one of our airport briefings on this runway and this airport and this approach in particular, which, to be fair, the sort of plan that we had, which was to go green dot at divot, slow the aircraft down, get us not divot, sorry, at 646, green dot by there, then get us down to 3,000 feet, worked out really nicely. We were happily at 3,000 feet. We were configured flaps 2 by Porto 542, ready to begin that 3 degree descent glide path angle. Sadly, it didn't work. So there we go. Big thanks to HD for calling out some of the information on there quickly, just as your real PM would be doing if you were concentrating on flying the aircraft. That was essentially my job. PM giving us things like setting the runway course and stuff like that. So guys, that's it. Sorry I can't show you anymore, but thank you so much. I hope up until the ending you enjoyed the flight. Those of you that did manage to fly today, I hope you got there and didn't crash the desktop. Thank you so much, guys, for flying alongside us. A big thank you to those of you who have donated and contributed to the channel during the flight today, and of course, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe and hit that notifications bell, and please do give the stream a like as we exit this evening. It means a great deal to the channel, so thank you to all of you that hit a like button on the stream. Right, I'm going to go and walk. I'm going to go walk my first officer. Going to go and walk George. Thanks so much, everybody, and a big thanks as always to HD for that. And just to quote HD there, the second it goes wrong, sort out the speed, gear, flaps, go around altitude and checklist in that order. Something we perhaps need to commit to memory a little bit more for when it does go wrong. Thanks very much, everybody. I shall see you all again very soon. Good night.